episode number 17 of Frank Ranks. We're going to be talking about Marvel, we're going to talk about DC, and we're going to talk about some independent comics. We're going to do 7 of them. Let's check them out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we just got off a film just the other day, so I'm able to jump back in and at least do the Frank Ranks for the week. I know I haven't really done much comic book reviews at this point because I just haven't had time, working 13 hours a day. But before we jump into these Marvel, DC, and Independence, I don't think actually I have any Marvel. I think it's all DC and Independence this week. Yeah, I don't have any Marvel. That'll tell you something about the industry, huh? Nobody's even collecting. I heard that even Spider-Man, I don't even collect Spider-Man, but I heard it's horrible. Nobody's even buying Spider-Man anymore. It's crazy. Before we get into it, though, remember, give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can, and if you can share this video out there, that would be amazing as well. Subscribe to, ring that bell, ding, ding. Also, remember, too, that I am a writer myself, so if you'd like to check out anything that I've written, you can go to Amazon.com and just type my name in, including Destiny Aurora, my 4-novel quadrilogy for sci-fi, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch, which is my fantasy. Working on a new book right now, and I have now launched the pre-launch page for Fairy Tales of Terror. So you can check that out in the QR code right here, or there's a link in the description below. You can jump in there, and it'll tell you when we launch, so you can take advantage of the early bird specials and things like that. I will be going to Dallas Expo in the end of the week and the next week. Damn, it came quick. All right, so let's jump into these books. And number 7, this is going to be the bottom of the list, is an independent book. I do like the character. Of course, as you know, I hooked up with Moonstone to promote the Green Hornet. But this is Al Segura, who is now writing 3 different books right now. He is writing Star Wars. He's also the new Star Wars, which everybody's kind of on iffy about. He's also writing Dick Tracy, and he just finished this. Thank God this ended. This was really bad. Really bad. It's very obvious that he did not understand the characters. The way that Kato and the Green Hornet kind of went at each other continuously. That is not the characters. I'm not really familiar with Miss Fury to know whether he got that right or not, but it's definitely based on some kind of a Catwoman, because that's how it's written, is like Catwoman. So this was a pretty bad series. Thankfully, it ended at 5, kind of put it out of its misery. There's so much that he could have done here, and instead he took the mentor of Green Hornet, which he made up. That's not really the mentor, which is a superhero. And he turned evil and wanted these two to, I guess, join him. I don't know. It was pretty bad. So anyway, thankfully it's over. That's Green Hornet and Miss Fury by is it Dynamite? Yeah, by Dynamite. All right, Al Segura. I really hope he does well with Star Wars. All right, so let's jump into number 6. This is DC. So we're going into a DC already. And if anybody is subscribed to my channel, they know that this is my favorite character in the DC universe. And I was kind of hoping that my buddy Jeremy Adams was going to be able to write him correctly. Or at least as I know him. I can't really say correctly because there are a lot of people that have different interpretations. But that is Aquaman number 5. So this is not my Aquaman. Unfortunately, people are describing it as the absolute Aquaman because he's more belligerent and violent. And I would tend to agree with that. And then he created this sword, which makes no sense. because obviously only the tip up here is really sharp anyway, which I guess he figured out because he put a little thing there. Or else when it was a trident, he would cut his hand on it. So it wouldn't make any sense. I don't really like this storyline at all either. He tried to go into, because his name is Arthur, he tried to go into Arthurian legend, and he has the Lady of the Lake in there. The only reason I'm not dropping this, because this was going to be my last one. And the only reason I didn't drop it was because he put Nemo in it, and I love Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. However, he also made him, so he joined up with Aquaman and the others, and they get onto the Nautilus, and he's the only crew member. What? What? Anytime you ever read anything to do with Nemo, he's always got a crew on the Nautilus. But now he's running the thing by himself, an entire sub he is piloting by himself. Makes no sense. So anyway, I'm gonna give it one more shot. I don't expect it to do anything different. I just want to see the Nemo thing kind of close up, and then I'm going to be dropping it. All right, so let's jump into number 5, and that would be another independent book, and that is Void Rivals by Robert Kirkman, who is the creator of not only this, but of The Walking Dead. So he's a very good writer. Nobody can fault that in the least, just like Jeremy's a good writer as well. However, he is dragging this out. I mean, this is part of the Energon universe, so there's Transformers in here. No real G.I. Joe. I think there's some G.I. Joe Cobra La characters in here. This is number 18 already. And the story is just going, and it's just droning along at this point. So Derek has now had a heart-to-heart with his father about why unity can't happen on the ring. Meanwhile, so Leela is hooked up with Zara. I forgot the name of the Transformer. Something with a Z. And she's only half. That Transformer is like only a body. It's only like half her body, and that's it. So she's crawling around. But they get to like this source bubble or whatever else, and she shares her power with Solila. So Solila is now able to travel around inside the ring and pop up wherever she wants. Okay. But anyway, she ends up popping up in the throne room where Derek was having the conversation with his father, and she's like, and here's why unity has to happen. And he's like, the father was like, hell no, it's not going to happen. Kill her. What I don't understand was that the Optimus, or what was his name? The mercenary that's like a quadriplegic or whatever. He ended up sitting on the throne. I don't really know how that happened. I'm still confused about that part. But, you know, I'm going to probably get this to 24. If the story doesn't end by 24, just keeps going, I'll probably drop it. Because that just means that he's just going to go and go and go on forever when it's it's not a story that's supposed to go on. All right, so number 4. This is actually a number 1 issue. Image. It's, again, an independent. This was 48 pages or 60 pages. I think it's 60 pages for $5. So I bought it just because of the fact that I was getting a good deal out of it. And that is Exquisite Corpses. And it's not a new concept in any way, shape, or form. It is a Hunger Games type of thing, Battle Royale, where you have the 13 original states, colonies that turned into states, and so they have their own whoever runs that state. So it's like a mob family that like runs the state, and they choose cards, and the cards have what weapon they're going to be able to give to their champion, and whoever wins every year basically rules the U.S. I guess. They have they're all powerful for that year, and so this is the introduction to each of those champions, and uh, it was a little bit. It was fun. So the one of the main ones meets with this army guy, and they're like, we know that you're not going to be swayed by money, but I'll give you your life back, and that's what kind of twists him into doing that. All the other ones are they're already there by the time she gets there with him, but it names them all. They all have these very flashy names and stuff like that. And one of them already dies by the time this thing ends in the 60 pages. It was a little bit slow at times, but overall it was a good setup. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue it or not. I may get another one just to see how it goes. But I liked it for the most part. So that would be my number 4. All right, number 3 is my last DC book. The rest of them are independent, just FYI. So independents rule this week pretty much. And so we have Batman and Robin. This is the only Batman book I'm collecting at this point. There's a lot of, the regular Batman title is running. The new Hush, which I think is complete garbage. They're kind of enticing by saying they're going to kill somebody off, one of the Robins or something like that. I don't care. And then you have Detective Comics, which I haven't collected in many, 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 many years. The writers on them have been bad, and now they put Tom Taylor on there, and I can give a crap less about what he's doing. This is generally good. The problem is that Phil Kennedy Johnson, he's drawing this out. I mean, I don't know what it is with writers that have to draw their stuff out. So we're on 23. This is obviously I don't know if it was Josh Williamson before that, I believe, and he's drawing this out for no reason. I think that he went off on like 10. So this is like going on for 14 issues. This one storyline of Memento. And it's had some good stuff in there. There has been some good stuff with Damian, trying to, make his own path, possibly leaving Robin, not being Robin anymore, and being a doctor instead, because he wants to fall into the footsteps of his grandfather, which is, of course, Batman's father, because he gave him a journal to read. But now Memento has captured him, and we also have this other detective that was trained with Bruce Wayne when he was going off and doing all his training before he was Batman. I like all that, but it's drawing out. He's got to close this up, man. If he doesn't close it up in the next couple of issues, I don't know what the hell. We don't know anything about Memento anyway. We don't know anything about why he's doing what he's doing with the Joker or whatever else. We know what the motivation is. Here we don't even know. We don't know nothing about the character, about the villain. And that leaves like a void in the book. Like, why are we doing what we're doing? But anyway, I hope he closes up the story in the next couple of issues. If not, then I will probably drop it and wait for the new thing. Because if he's going to go on for another 10 issues with this, I'm just going to get bored. He can't do enough characterization for me to keep going. And that was why it's number 3 and not higher. Although the last 2 I really enjoyed. All right, so let's jump into number 2, and that is Dick Tracy by Al Segura. So I just, rammed him for the last thing that he wrote there with Green Hornet, but he really gets Dick Tracy. I think he does an amazing job with this. The first arc was okay. It was okay. It was good for bringing back Dick Tracy, but this has been really good. This is with the character of the blank, and we're figuring out who the blank is over these last 5 issues, and the mystery involved. Of course, they threw Pat Patton in as part of the red herring and stuff like that. We're getting a little bit of progression with Tess. We found out about the Breathless Mahoney character in this one, and then we also found out, which I'm not going to tell you, who the blank is. And I really, really liked that reveal. I thought that the story was only going to continue, but now it's going on. There's going to be another arc after this. He's doing 5-issue arcs, and that's the way it should be. We should be having 5, 6-issue arcs where the story's done, 7 on a high end, and then move on to the next story. And unfortunately, we have these writers that are writing for the omnibus. I miss the days of writing for the trades, where again it was 5, 6, 7 issues on a high end, and they closed it up, and then we went on to something new. Give me a new villain and stuff like that, and that's what I don't like about Batman. But he's doing this really right, and I can't wait for the next one. I really like this issue. I like this whole arc. These last 5 issues have been phenomenal. So if you're not reading Dick Tracy by Mad Cave, you might want to jump into there. All right, and number 1. I already told you it's independent. And if you follow my channel at all, you probably know what this one is anyway. And that is Space Ghost by David Pepose. I'm not a fan of his other writings, same as kind of like El Segura, but he gets this character. I mean, he really, really gets the character. This was an 80s or even late 70s, early 80s cartoon that was very like hammed up. And here he kind of grounded it. He made the character very cool, almost Batman-ish. However, when you're putting young kids in, kind of like a Robin, and then you got a monkey on top of that, and he had to make this thing all cool and kind of put together where it's not silly. And I think he does an amazing, amazing job. In fact, he signed an issue for me as well when I saw him at one of the conventions. Really, really good stuff. He took all the villains, so we had villains that were in like 1 issue each, and then by the last 2 issues now, he combined them all, kind of like a Legion of Doom kind of thing, and they all came at him at once. Meanwhile, he had a falling out with Jan, who wanted to possibly join the Academy, and he felt like he was losing them. So we have this personal thing as well. Meanwhile, Blip was now the key to it all, and he was kidnapped by the professor, and he's already been put into this machine and stuff like that. So even though the arc ended, there is a annual coming out that's going to basically combine or link the arc here with the new arc. So I'm really looking forward to that. I look forward to this book every month. It has not let me down yet. So very excited to see where this goes from here. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my list for this week. And yeah, I'll be going back to doing hopefully if every other day, if not daily. I'm leaving for Dallas Expo, so I'm trying to do a whole bunch of stuff with that, and working on Fairy Tales of Terror at the same time, getting my Kickstarter completed, things to that effect. All right. Anyway, check out Fairy Tales of Terror. I'll put the QR code again over here if you'd like to jump in on that and just do a quick sign up for when we launch. And check out my other books on Amazon.com. Just type my name in. Remember to give me that like, give me that subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And I will see you on the next one. Have a great week.